Yeah, g'day YouTubers, Spanner Man again here with another video. Hope you enjoyed the video today. Please subscribe to the channel. Any comments, thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Yeah, g'day YouTubers, Spanner Man again here with another video. Today we're just going to briefly talk about setting your chainsaw grinder up and using it, and so I can show you what an actual good tooth that's ground looks like, because there's no point just watching someone using one of these grinders and all you're doing is seeing sparks out there. So we're going to talk about the cutting angles. Now the cutting angles are going to be generic, which is going to be 60 degrees up on the back here, which is used, 99% of grinders are going to use 60 degrees worldwide, and they're going to use 30 degrees on the top plate angle. For those that are not too familiar, the top plate angle is the little angle when you look down on top of a tooth and you see this angle. That's the top plate angle. The top plate cutting angle is what this head adjustment is. So when we loosen this bolt here, this head can be moved. That's referred to the top plate cutting angle. So if we look at a tooth, that's the angle that the grinder comes in on the tooth at a 60-degree angle right here. So it puts that angle right on the edge of the top plate. So this is called as a compounded bevel because it's got two angles. You've got the 30 degrees here, and on the actual 30-degree angle, you've got another angle that goes downward that creates your cutting angle. This nice little edge here. So that's your top plate cutting angle edge, right sitting on the top plate. So make sure that you don't go around swapping between 30 degrees and 25 and 60 and 55. If you start playing around with all the angles, every single time that you change to a different angle, you're going to have to grind excess metal away until that new profile comes into shape. So just remember that 60 degrees on your top plate cutting angle is fairly standard worldwide. Probably 99% of chains are virtually going to be 60 degrees, and 99% of them worldwide are going to be 30 degrees on here. So you're going to have that sort of angle fairly generic. You can go 25 degrees. I don't recommend 35 degrees in most situations because 35 degrees is getting more aggressive. 25 degrees means that it won't be as aggressive, but it will last longer between sharpenings. And that's what happens if you go, say, to 35 degrees. 35 degrees is to be used in very, very soft timber, really soft. In most cases, if you're using the chainsaw for firewood, you're not going to use really, really soft timber. So that's what that does. So let's say that we just grind up a tooth and we have a look at it, because that's what I want you to see. Because sometimes you see on some of these forums, people will grind up a tooth and they'll say, "Oh, rate my tooth." And, you know, maybe there was someone that was really genuine that actually said that in the beginning, but I think people are doing it for a bit of a joke. You know, they'll put on a beautiful ground tooth and they'll say, "Oh, rate my grind." And I just crack up laughing. Anyway, so what we'll do now, you've got this adjustment here. Now, this adjustment here goes onto the backstop, and you've got to bring the tooth right up to the grinding wheel so that it just touches. So in this situation, I've already adjusted it, and you can see that the grinding wheel touches the tooth. You can rock the grinding wheel, and you can just hear that. So we'll just adjust that a little bit, lock it in a position. That's going to be our starting point, and we'll just grind that tooth up. You want that tap-in motion, off, on, off, on. If you just hold this grinding wheel down, you'll overheat the tooth and you'll change the temper of it, and that's not a good thing. So you want to avoid doing that. So go slow. It's not a race. Okay, so what we want to do now is take this tooth off, and I want you to see how good this tooth looks. That's what you should be seeing, people. Nice, sharp tooth. That is very sharp. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Because what you're looking for on the number 7, it looks like a number 7, doesn't it, when you look at it like that? You're looking for this edge to be razor sharp, right down the side plate, right up over the curve. This is the working corner, and this is the top plate edge here. So when I spoke about the 60 degrees, this is the 60-degree edge that we're talking about here that you can see here. That's where the wheel came in at the... I think you can see that if you look at that angle there. This angle here is the 60 degrees that we set. That is razor sharp, people. So that's what you're looking for. And that's all I really wanted to show you. I didn't want to go into any in-depth sort of showing you grinding all the teeth on one side, grinding them on the other side without showing you what the actual grind looks like. Look, we could just do another one just for the sake. We'll just grind up another tooth, turn it back on. Should look identical the same. So nice and slow. Now, in most cases, you're probably taking off less than 0.2 of a millimetre. You don't want to be taking much off at all. All right, we'll just get this off. This should actually look very good as well. It should be duplicated. Look at that. That is a beautiful, another ground tooth. Same thing on here. Look, I can feel it. It is razor sharp. Sometimes I test the teeth. They'll actually, you'll see them cut your skin. You know, you get, look at that. Shavings of skin off. That's how you know. That's how you know your tooth is razor sharp, when you can sort of like just take a little bit of skin off. Look at that. So if you've got a little bit of hard skin, you can... But yeah, look, it's a simple little test. A lot of people say that's not a good idea, but yeah, I always test it that way, whether it's a little bit of nail or a little tiny bit of skin, and just to see how sharp it is. That is razor sharp. Look, I hope this video helps, because there's nothing worse than watching some guy grinding a chain up and all as you do is seeing sparks and you don't see the end result. So just remember, you take your time. Don't try and grind off a lot of metal in one hit. That's a big mistake that people make. They tend to grind off too much metal in one hit, and they can tend to blue the metal. If you blue the metal, you're going to change the temper. So just take your time. The only other thing that this grinder, this Tecamec grinder from Jolly, it's a Jolly Evo model from Tecamec. It also has a vice adjustment on the side. Those that are not familiar with a vice adjustment, it can be used for two things: to center the guide rails. If we just zoom back out, if you turn this to 0 and you bring the wheel down, you can use the vice as the wheel wears down to center the guide rail right in the middle of the wheel. You can move it backwards or forwards to do that. So that's one purpose of the sliding vice. The second purpose is if you've got a full chisel chain and you want 10 degrees downward tilt, you can use it for that. So look, I hope that helps. It's just another video for the beginner to show you what your tooth looks like, because I was on one of the forums last night and there was a guy on there that said, what am I doing wrong, people? He's showing you the picture of his grinder and he's saying that his chain's not cutting. Two things: he's either grinding it wrong, but he didn't show any photos, or he's not using the depth gauge. Now, the other thing is, and I didn't mention it, please, after grinding your teeth, use a progressive depth gauge like this. Don't use the constant flat one. This is the type of depth gauge that you should be using. This is a 3/8 standard chain. So this is, if you want to order this part from Stihl, tell them that it's an FL4 gauge for a standard 3/8. It's not one gauge fits all. There's 5 in the series, FL1 to FL5. FL5 is a 404 chain. FL1 is a 1/4 inch. FL2 is a 3/8 low profile. FL3 is a 0.325, and 3/8 is FL 4, and as I said, 404 is FL5. Do yourself a favour if you go down to your local chainsaw shop and buy yourself one of these. Main reason being is that your standard gauge will only take a very small amount off, and as the chain starts to wear down, especially down to half of the life, you really need to be taking a little bit more metal off your rakers so that you're going to be cutting properly. Anyway, thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Bye for now.